Hello everyone, this is Josh Caswell with the Monroe County Public Library, and I'm going to talk to you today about another digital creativity at home software you can use for free. And this time actually featuring something that I've talked about before. It's called Photopea. It's available from www.photopea.com, and what it is an in-the-web browser-based Photoshop-like program. And in fact, it can do pretty much everything that Photoshop can do. Now there is just one tiny restriction. You have the ability to pay for this as like a premium service, and of course you don't get the ads that are on the right hand side of the screen there, and you also have more steps in your history. But other than that, it works just like Photoshop, and it's definitely an app that I highly recommend to anyone. So with that said, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do with this today. What we're going to do today is do a double exposure type photograph, and if you don't know what these are, this is what it looks like. It's that kind of classic 80s style. You have like the person, and then you have something else superimposed. In this case, it's the person again. And what I'm going to do is show you how to do this with your pets so you can give them as gifts to friends or family, keep for yourself, whatever you want to do. So let's go ahead and get that started. So I'm going to go into Photopea here, and I'm going to open from computer, and I have mine on this flash drive here. I have my picture of my beautiful cat Eliza, and we're just gonna, have her right here. She's very beautiful. She loves being in the sink, so you all can enjoy that. And then I need another photo to put this photo over. So I used unsplash.com for that, and this is a free photo website where you can get all these pictures for free. You can use them in pretty much any way that you want. You just can't like resell the photo itself without some amount of editing, and you can't use it on a competing service to them, which is pretty reasonable. So let's find a good picture here. I think this dark alley here would work pretty well, and I'm just going to go ahead and download it, and I'm going to go to a medium size. The original picture is very large, and even the large version's somewhat large, so I'm going to go ahead and pick medium, and it just downloads completely for free. This person named Stephen Cords uploaded it, and we're very thankful that they gave us this photo for free. And I'm going to go ahead and hit open to get that picture. And it's in my downloads this time. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And now we have this image in here, and we have our cat. So the next thing we want to do is to bring the cat's face into the other photo. And there's a lot of ways we can do this. We can use a box select, hit copy, it's Control C, just like on any other device, and allow it to access my clipboard, and it can bring it in, but that's a lot of editing that we're gonna have to do to make this look better, so I'm not gonna do that. And you can use this lasso select to kind of drag a freehand thing around her face. That'd be a little bit easier, but still not great. I'm gonna hit Command D to unselect. But what I'm going to use to select her face is actually the pen tool. This is something that I can use to get really tight in on her face and have a lot of control over that. So I'm going to select pen tool, and I'm going to change these options up at the top left here. I'm going to change this to path. The shape option selects, it's a different type of selection. I think by default it selects a mask. On this one you can select the mask or the shape. It's not really important. The important thing is that you get the shape drawn around the cat. If you never use the pen tool, it's very handy. It's maybe difficult to learn, but you start by clicking, you click another point, and then you have this line here, but if you hold down on that point, so let me Control Z to undo, so click down, and hold on this point, and then start pulling it, like if you click and hold, you make a nice little curve here. And I think that's going to work pretty well. You can find another point, and click there, and this one's already pretty close. I can pull these handles to kind of change their shape and things like that, and it does take some getting used to, but I wouldn't say it's the most difficult thing in the world. Just take some practice. So I'll go ahead and do this, and maybe I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Okay, so to stop where you're at, you can just connect the pen end to where you began. And you can see I have some issues here, and you can fix these by using this tool right here. It's set to path select by default. You're going to set it to direct select. And now I'm just going to drag these handles around, and it's just click and drag, and just get them to where they're kind of in the shape more or less of what you want them to be. And then you can edit these other handles to kind of get it closer to the shape that you actually want. And I'm getting pretty close here. That one's actually gonna have to stay there, I think. There we go. And get this handle here. Let's get that in there, and then drag this down. And finally, let's drag this one down here. And I think that that's going to be close enough. So now I want to be on the pen tool, and whenever I'm on the pen tool, I need to hit this button up here that says selection, and just hit OK. And now you have the selection around the face, and I can hit Control C to copy, and I can hit Control V to paste the face in. Now you can see it's a lot closer. It's not perfect by any means, but we can, kind of edit things where that's not really that noticeable. So the first thing we want to do is lower the opacity, and that's how well you'll be able to see this image. And if I lower it, I'm going to lower it down to 80, 75% or something like that. And you can see it starts making her more, more clear, where you can see through it better. So now I want to move it around, actually. I'm going to move it to this top. Maybe down to the bottom. Actually, I like that. And I want to resize this a little bit. I'm on this move tool here at the top, and I just want to click on this transform controls, and that gives you the handles here. And you can click this and make it bigger. You can also hold the shift button down while you're clicking, and it does it uniformly, which I think is probably good. And I'm going to actually lower this opacity down a little bit more, because it's in an area to where you can see it a little bit better. So now that we have this set here, we could be happy with it, but I'm not really that happy with it. So what I'm going to do is get the eraser, and with the eraser, I'm going to go down to this menu here and up the size quite a bit. And what I'm going to do is just kind of freehand get this area down around here. You can see that it leaves kind of not very pretty lines here. So what you can do is change the opacity and the hardness of the eraser, and those just change how much it affects the shape. So I'm going to change the hardness down to 50%, and the opacity down to 20% or something like that. And I can come in here and feather in these changes a little bit better here. And you can see that it is kind of already starting to work better, be more uniform here. And you can experiment with this. I still don't like it, so I'm going to change the hardness down a little bit more, down to 20%. And then I'm going to up the size a little bit. There we go. So that's nice. And if you go over an area multiple times, you start to get rid of more and more of it. So this down here doesn't look very good. So I'm just going to go over it many times here. You could also up the opacity to kind of do this a little bit more quickly. And I'm just going to get rid of a lot of her ear area here. And now we're starting to get somewhere. So I can just kind of feather this in here and keep working at it. And you can zoom in by holding the Option or Alt button. And it's actually going to zoom in. And you can do a little bit closer inspection of the shape if you want. And just, do the things that you think make it look good. And once you have a good effect, you can go to File, and you can export this as any kind of format and send this on to your friends or family, get it, printed out and framed. And I think you can make a really nice gift or just a keepsake for yourself, and it's kind of fun. That said, go ahead and give this a shot. Share us the results, and we'll see you in the next one.